Welcome back to Season 4, Episode 12 of Teed Up, where everyone's a sports expert.
The podcast that makes you care about sports, including President Connolly.
We're an original podcast created and produced by Long Beach State student-run newspaper, the Long Beach Current. I'm Maddie C.
I'm Maddie G.
Today, we got two new guests on the pod. We got the Long Beach Current's own design assistant, Soleil Cardenas, and my good friend over there. He likes all the right sports teams, Coleman and Rodriguez, JPR student. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you guys for having us.
Of course. NFL trade deadline just wrapped up a week later than usual. So I think it's a good time to move back into some NFL.
Yep. Got the Niner jerseys on.
For
Looking
sure.
good over there with the Trey Lance
Fresh
jersey.
Trey Lance jersey.
All right. We'll start it off with the game last night. Bengals at Ravens. 1-point game. Obviously came down to the very end. Want to get your guys' thoughts. Bengals go for 2 at the end to go for the win. How did you guys feel?
I mean, I think the safe route was just taking the field goal.
I know.
but-
I would have taken the field goal too.
But to me, Mike Gesicki getting that last pass, I would just chucked it up to Jamar Chase. Like, if you're going for 2, just try to get him the ball.
Yeah.
You got to go with
Yeah,
that.
I think you had to go to Jamar Chase. I'm not mad at the decision because the game last week, the Chiefs and the Tampa Bay,
Mhm.
they didn't go for 2, went to overtime. Then they didn't even get an opportunity to get the ball back.
That's the thing. I was telling him last night, I was like, bro, they're not playing the Chiefs. They're not playing Mahomes. I feel like, obviously, the Ravens were rolling last night.
They had
Lamar
4
Jack-
straight touchdown drives.
They were looking
That's
good.
true,
But at the same time, I would have just taken the field goal. Plus, I just want to see overtime with that game because it was a good game already. So that's how I felt about it. There also could have been a possible flag on that last play, too. So, I don't know.
For a team that's season was on the line, more or less, Bengals had to win the game. I don't understand why you don't push for overtime. Play it safe.
Another reason.
You're going for a 50-50 chance, more or less. Going for 2. And it backfired. Also, I'm a Mark Andrews, Zay Flowers, and Lamar Jackson owner in fantasy, so I wanted more points. That was upsetting.
Yeah.
We could have possibly seen a Jamar Chase 300-yard game if we would have went overtime, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, too, even if they would have gotten the 2-point conversion, there was still 38 seconds on the clock for the Ravens to go down the field and get just into field goal range because they only would have been up 1 point, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like you got to go for the tie there and then try and force overtime. That's my personal opinion on it. I think the Bengals are they're at a point where I feel like they've fallen out of playoff contention just because, yeah.
I mean, what? They're 3-6.
6.
Yeah.
Not good enough. Not good enough.
I mean, they're always in the mix because, they went close against the Chiefs and then now had this close game with the Ravens, but they're just missing, one piece, it seems like.
No, yeah, I think all the games are really, really close, and I think it's just sad that Joe Burrow has been playing so well, and Jamar Chase, I feel like he needed this really, really good game because there was a lot of I know a lot of people were saying oh, he's not even top 3, top 5, so.
Yeah. And I think Jamar Chase said it after the game too. If you were to tell me that me and Joe Burrow are playing this well and we have this bad of a record, it's surprising. And I do agree that it is sad because I feel like Joe Burrow does have the best chance of beating Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs, which that's what football season has come for me. I just don't want to see the Chiefs in the Super Bowl again this year. So anybody but them. So
Yeah, I agree. I
it's
think
tough.
every time Joe Burrow loses, I shed a tear.
I don't know if I go that far, but yeah.
I think it might have decided MVP, too. I don't know.
Yeah,
both of them
I
were,
think
in
Lamar
the mix.
Jackson's definitely the front runner right
For
now.
sure, yeah.
Back-to-back.
Yeah, I think so.
I think it's pretty safe.
Sam Darnold. Wait. Never mind. AFC and NFC.
Speaking of, who do you guys think right now? I say we'll just start in the AFC. Who do you guys think the biggest threat to the Chiefs repeating is in the AFC? Because again, I think Joe Burrow and the Bengals obviously match up well against the Chiefs, but I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. So
Honestly, I think the only hope is the Ravens. I mean, to me, I don't think the Bills kind of go over the hump. Their
I don't think
receiver
so
core is
either.
getting worse and worse by the year. So, I mean, maybe Amari Cooper does make a big difference, but as of now, I think the Ravens are the only hope, and it's kind of tough with them.
yeah.
I don't know. There's I would say the Ravens, but I have no idea how the Chiefs are 8-0 That is just.
You're an unofficial
Bills fan. Yeah,
What are your thoughts?
I do think the Bills have a chance. I think you just keep running it back until they win. The Bills have shown they're good enough to beat pretty much any team in the league, so why not get them there? Have an AFC final again. Bills Chiefs finally win it.
I hope.
Josh Allen to me is like the quarterback I trust most in the league and trust the least in the league at the same time. But I think he'll play you into like a close game every time.
Do you guys think the Chiefs go undefeated this year?
No.
I don't think so, but the scary part to me is it looks like they haven't put it together on offense, and
I
they're
know.
still undefeated.
I
So
mean,
that's what
last year
concerns
looked like
me.
the down year too.
Yeah.
Like if there wasn't going to be a year the Chiefs made the Super Bowl, it was going to be last year.
I think the Chiefs are just really lucky.
Yeah. They always just get that, like.
One bounce.
Yeah.
Like, I can bring it up time and time again. Mahomes has led the league in the most dropped interceptions for like the past 5 years now. Eventually, they're going to catch the ball. And that one time, it's going to be the time that just cost them their season.
Against the Bills.
Against the Bills.
Hopefully.
Against the Bills.
Brings us up to another team in the AFC North, the Steelers. You wanted to bring up the Steelers.
Yeah.
They haven't played a divisional opponent yet, and it's like week 10.
I don't care about none of that. I just feel like Mike Tomlin deserves his flowers any chance you get. I don't think Mike Tomlin should still be the Steelers coach. We were just talking about that. I think he should have parted ways at this point. Give him a better roster. But since Mike Tomlin's been there, this team has never finished below 500. I have a little game for you guys here. I want you to name the 6 quarterbacks since 2019 who have played and started more than 5 games. Or will start more than 5 games.
Okay.
Oh, and this on the Steelers?
Mhm.
And wait, how many years?
Since 2019.
Okay, Kenny Pickett.
Can you pick it? Yeah.
We'll get the obvious one out of the way. Justin Fields, right?
Yeah.
Mason Rudolph? Is that
Yeah.
Yep.
Is Josh Dobbs one of them, or no?
No
that's
starts.
what's before.
Yeah.
There's an obvious one.
There's an obvious one
Roethlisberger?
missing.
Is
Roethlisberger.
Yep,
Yeah.
last year. Or no, not his last year.
I can help you out with one. Maddie C also missed this one out. Don't understand how.
Wait.
Number 2 overall pick.
my
I
goodness, I'm
completely
blanking out on
forgot.
this.
He was a number 2 overall pick in the last
Oh my god.
7 years.
I see his face. I can't.
Rich.
I mean, I think they're all rich, right?
His name rhymes with Rich.
Oh, Mitch Trubisky.
Mitch Trubisky.
Yep.
And then there's one other quarterback.
Wait,
Very
you
nice
said
example.
5, right?
Actually, there's technically 2 more quarterbacks. One will start 5 games.
Oh, Will start Russell Wilson.
Russell
Oh,
Wilson.
Yeah, okay.
And then there's one left in this list.
One life.
These quarterbacks have started 5 games for this team in the last 6 years.
Did Haskins ever play for the? He never got starting time.
This one might be the toughest one, but
Yeah.
it's just to emphasize this team has not finished below 500, and these are the names you're dropping as
Yeah.
quarterbacks to start more than 5 games.
Kenny
guys aren't gonna
Pickett,
get this
Kenny
one,
Pickett,
yeah.
Mason Rudolph, and Mitch Trubisky. Just-
Doc Hodges.
Doug Hodges. I was
Doug
I was
Hodges.
not gonna
Can't
get that.
No.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
every year they just find a way.
Yeah.
Yeah. that
At
is-
a certain
My-
point.
My thing with the Steelers is like I really hate Arthur Smith. So like just like every time I watch the game and I see him on the sideline, I'm just like, oh, this is just. And what he did to the Falcons last year just like made me the most like. My boyfriend's a Falcons fan, so he always makes me watch the Falcons game with him, and we just had like this ongoing joke like the whole year that he would just like. His like sneak play was to like not give it to any of the good players. Like let's just not give it to Bijan. Let's just throw it to this random guy that just got brought up from practice squad.
There were definitely some weeks during fantasy football last year that I felt that disrespect to Bijan, so I kind of
had
get
him
where you're
too.
coming
I
from.
had him too.
But
I
Kyle
kinda-
Pitts' disrespect was even worse.
Yeah, him too.
Definitely.
Like he's already feeling like a flame out, which is just crazy to think.
Yeah. I kind of dislike the Steelers too, just because I feel like they're stale and like they do always find a way to make it above 500
Yeah.
or make it to 500, whether it's like 8-8, just not below. I don't know. I just feel like the product's stale. They're never really a true Super Bowl contender, but they do make the playoffs, and it's just kind of boring to me. I feel like if they were to ever mutually part ways with Mike Tomlin, if he was the coach of the Niners, I feel like we'd have 2 Super Bowls right now, maybe more. But shifting gears to the Niners, it's the return of the Offensive Player of the Year, the reigning Offensive Player of the Year, the best player in football, Christian McCaffrey, this week. How are you feeling going into the second half of the Niners season?
I mean, better now that he's coming back. But, I mean, the first game of the year for him coming back mid-season, I would say Garendo should be getting majority of the carries, at least for this week and maybe next week. He should just be getting like 75 to like 50% of the carries, like split it as much as you can. But I mean, Garendo's shown that he can get the job done. So I would say just keep giving him the rock and let McCaffrey just sit it out until he's 100%.
I would probably agree with that too, especially because the Niners' goal, obviously the division's wide open and we're not the front runners right now. It's kind of up in the air. But the aspirations are still Super Bowl, and you don't want to rush McCaffrey back into trying to win a game in Week 10 against the Buccaneers rather than having him down the line when we actually need him. So that's kind of my thoughts on there. I'm still not high on the Niners getting back to the Super Bowl just because the statistics have shown teams that lose the Super Bowl the next year, they don't make it back.
Yeah, I'm not high on it either. I can't blame you on that. It's
I mean, we've watched the games. There's a lot of injuries. That's just kind of my opinion on it.
It's rare to see you not be optimistic about a team.
I know I'm very high on my teams, but
yeah, when you started that, I thought you were about to
go in another way.
Obviously, I'm super excited about Christian McCaffrey coming back, and I think we'll be better. But if I could be real for 1 week, I guess I'll be real this week. Just because the Niners consistently disappoint me when it matters most. So,
I mean, to me, it was like I think we just got off to the wrong footing, even with Ayuk and all that, like sitting out. And over the last few seasons, we've experienced it where like it didn't work out for Nick Bosa after he sat out.
Yeah,
didn't work out for who was another one? I think prior to that, I think we had another one, but
Trent Williams kind of went into this year
as well. Yeah,
and obviously Purdy has not looked as good. Obviously, not having the best offensive weapon in the league definitely takes away from that. So it'll be interesting.
He lost his mask. That's how I feel about it. I've talked about Brock Purdy for long enough.
We'll get into that more later on with our opinions on Brock Purdy. But NFL trade deadline, we saw some big name wide receivers get dealt. Amari Cooper, DeAndre Hopkins, Devontae Adams. Do you guys think it's kind of tough now to say because Devontae Adams has played how many games with the Jets? Like 3.
Yeah, we're approaching 3.
And they already lost like 2 of those. Who do you guys think is going to make the most impact for their team at the deadline?
Jonathan Mingo.
D-Hop.
Yeah.
D-Hop.
Yeah, when I was watching the Chiefs game, I was like, this is just I wanted to cry.
Yeah, definitely D-Hop. That's just it was scary to see. I mean, he's doing good. I mean, he's not having the greatest season, referring to Mahomes, but D-Hop is just going to take him over that hump, and that's what's going to be scary.
Yeah, when they put up that stat during the game, like, they've never come back during the fourth quarter when they've been down. Or it was, like, some random Patrick Mahomes stat. Like, they're 0-12 in this, and then D-Hop just, like, caught the ball wide open. I was like, wow, this is... Yeah. And then their kicker always has, like, the most points in fantasy.
Just don't like that guy.
Harrison Butker.
Not fans of him on the pod.
No.
Yeah. It's going to be Hopkins. And there wasn't a lot of trades really at the deadline. So we've had the opportunity to see some of these guys with their teams. So it's definitely looks that way. I think Devontae Adams and the Jets should be brought up because I think that's a whole nother
ordeal.
Yeah. I think it's one of the biggest failures definitely of the past 5-ish years in the NFL. All that talent.
Did you see Devontae Adams lost to the Steelers in back-to-back weeks?
Yep.
Yeah.
That was beautiful. Steelers Nation. I don't even like the Steelers. I actually hate Ben Roethlisberger.
I don't think any of us like the Steelers.
I just wanted to bring him up. Ben Roethlisberger is one of my least favorite human beings.
I don't like Ben either.
Yeah.
To me, if your defensive player is the most exciting player on your team, it's not good. With TJ Watt.
Najee Harris, wasted draft pick.
We also have one of the biggest games of the NFL season this week. It's being played overseas in Germany.
Tank Bowl.
Panthers versus Giants. Who do you guys got? This is primetime TV. I know I'm going to be waking up at like 6 a.m. to watch this.
I would say the Panthers, honestly. Like, actually, no, they just traded Deontay Johnson. Yeah, maybe not.
Jonathan Brooks is playing though.
Jonathan Brooks is playing. I gotta go Neighbors and everyone on the Giants.
I got Malik Neighbors in fantasy, so I'm hoping that.
This is embarrassing to admit. I used to be the biggest Danny Dimes believer. I think it was last year where I drafted Danny Dimes to be my quarterback, thinking he was about to lead me all the way. I still hope for Danny Dimes to live up to that contract, but it won't
There's
ever
no
happen.
way he ever will.
He was fast. He was Vanilla Vic.
No.
Bring him back. He's going to win in Munich.
And then you see what's happening in Philly with Saquon Barkley.
Oh my.
Jumping over guys backwards.
The Nike ad was cool.
Yeah.
It was. That was one of the best plays I think I've ever seen.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah, no, that was...
It gained like an extra 3 yards. Let's not overhype it.
Yeah.
Let's not overhype it. It was cool.
Have you ever backwards hurdled someone?
No, but you know
Okay,
how
that was
many
my
kids
first
are about
thought.
to do that?
My first thought was like, okay, the spin move I thought was cooler in the beginning, and I was like,
It was nice.
I was like, he backwards hurdled to get tackled immediately, but then the more I watched it, I was like, okay, that's like kind of insane to time that up perfectly.
It was for the gram.
Yeah.
It was really
Nice.
cool.
It was
really
for the
impressive.
ad.
I know Gary liked it. He was talking to me about it. Yeah.
It was impressive. Nowhere near the biggest play of all time.
Don't feel too bad about that.
I
Danny Dimes
wonder.
prediction.
I
I'll
feel
be
like people
trading
might
next year.
start doing that now, though.
Yeah. People trying.
Do you think people are gonna?
There's definitely some kids at recess in the past week. I mean, I know there was the OBJ thing, but now let me Saquon this kid as he's trying to two-hand touch me at
High
recess.
school football is going to be full of backwards hurdle.
Oh, God. People are gonna be like knocking themselves out during it. If you're not wearing a Guardian cap, don't try it.
We'll wrap up the Germany game with who do you guys think right now? We're kind of at the midway point, just over. Who do you guys think ends up with the number 1 overall pick this year?
The Panthers didn't trade it away, right?
No, they have their pick this year.
Okay.
Panthers are pretty bad. The
Yeah.
Raiders are pretty bad.
Oh, the Raiders are in the mix.
I hope the
too.
Cowboys sneak down there. just not so they get the number 1 pick, but just so they finish last.
Yeah. You know, now that I think of it, maybe the Raiders, because I think they want a quarterback. So,
Yeah.
And this would definitely be the draft to go for it. So probably the Raiders.
Yeah, I agree with the Raiders. I think the Panthers, like, I don't even know where they would start. Like, what? Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know.
There's
Trading
too
Bryce
many-
Young.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly. I've never been a believer in him. He's too small.
No.
Wow,
Yeah.
I'm a Bryce Young lover, guys.
You are?
Yeah, I just feel so sad
feel
for
bad
him.
for the
I'm an empath, guys. I feel so sad. Like, it's just
I mean, it just didn't look good when.
He wore Skechers push-ups
Yeah.
to the
We're not going to
combine.
make fun of people's shoes, but.
I'm not talking about his shoes. I'm talking about his height. He wanted to look over the podium.
Jeez. But yeah, it didn't look good though when Andy Dalton came in like a week later after he was sucking it
yeah,
up and beat the Raiders and had like 3 touchdowns in the first half. But
Yeah.
yeah. But
he's not a bad guy.
I would say my opinion on it was like he's been waiting on the bench to like get his chance.
Andy Dalton's always good for like 1 game a year to just come off the bench and like have a good game, whether it's with like the Cowboys or the Saints.
Any team.
Yeah, sturdy backup in the league. You got some questions? Some special questions.
Oh, I do. Okay, this week I prepared something for you guys. A little George Kittle break. So we're going to get into that. I got some questions. You got to try to guess them. I don't know if you'll have the answers, but we'll find out. Week 3 press conference. George Kittle wore a t-shirt that had a phrase on it. 2 words. Do we know what it said?
This is you. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on, Brandon.
Goodness.
It was 7 letters. 2 words.
I don't think I got it.
7.
Black and yellow.
Black and yellow, yep.
Why am I
Really
blanking?
famous slogan just with 1 word switched.
Automatically, when I think Kittle wearing a shirt, I think of that Dallas T-shirt. So my mind is blanking.
Yeah, I was thinking.
Feel free to
of
say
that.
what it said. No.
It's not
wanna
got.
reveal
It's
it?
not got milk. It's got
I only remember this because
corn.
Uh,
It was got corn. Okay, next one up for you guys. At the receiver premiere, Kittle was asked to rank the most popular George Kittle themed fantasy football names. Number 3 was the Kittle Mermaids. Number 2 was Kittle Me This, and number 1 was what?
Does that have something to do with wrestling? I know he's a big wrestling fan.
Nope.
If this is your first time being on Teed Up, probably watching, we have breaks. They have themes. I might have revealed the theme with the last thing that George Kittle got.
Oh, Kittle corn.
Kittle corn.
Yeah.
There we
You got
go. And then this one isn't as much of a question, but Kittle's mom, dad, and sister are vegetarian. Growing up, his mom's dad owned a farm where Kittle would eat this vegetable right off of the stalk.
Corn.
Iowa sweet corn to be exact. He said it's the best food in the world. Doesn't need to be boiled. And just for Davis, on Nebraska, he said, don't get me started on Nebraska sweet corn. It's fine. It's not Iowa.
Shots fired.
It's fine.
All right. Before transitioning into a couple more games, we got a lot of games.
We got a
today.
lot of games.
We're in a game mood. All right. We'll talk a little college football. You're unofficial Georgia fan, ranked, I think they're ranked number 3 right now in
Yeah.
the nation. How do you feel going forward? You got Ole Miss on Saturday. They're ranked 16th, I believe. How do you feel going forward? You're not
I think
you're not a fan of your
I
quarterback.
think they might be ranked. Are they ranked 16? I think they might be ranked 12 now. Or oh wait, no, maybe 14.
I'll double check.
Okay.
We'll get our stats guy on it. We don't have a stats guy.
Okay. Okay, Ole Miss, this is going to be a great game. I love good games. I'm just a fan of good games. Even if the team, well, actually, I take that back. I do want Georgia to win. I have no faith in Carson Beck.
All right.
He is like, he's literally so awful. I hate him. He throws so many interceptions. He literally always like, I hate it when they zoom on his face and he looks so like confused, lost. Yeah. I think Jackson Dart is pretty good. And I will say, looking at the beginning of the season, okay, when Ole Miss lost to LSU, and then that press conference where he was like, we got to win out.
Mm-hmm.
As a Georgia fan, knowing that we were coming up on the schedule, that was pretty scary for me because he's I feel like he can make something happen. But I feel pretty optimistic. I feel like no matter what, they always find a way to win. So, but this last game with the Gators was a little rough.
And then obviously it's the first year of the 12-team college football playoff. We'll move on to a couple teams that definitely aren't going to make that. You're a Stanford guy. I'm a Cal guy, I guess. I say that in a Christian McCaffrey jersey, so that kind of looks bad. 2 teams at the bottom of the ACC. I miss the Pac-12, but I don't like conference realignment, if I'm being honest. I think it definitely hurts teams like us who have to travel across the country for literally every single conference game.
Yeah, that's why they're losing.
Yes. Travel. Yep. I think Cal is literally the team with the most miles traveled throughout the entire season. So, yeah. 4-4 overall with an 0-4 conference record.
That carbon footprint isn't very Calgorithm of them.
I know. Calgorithm was fun while it lasted.
College football was fun while it lasted. It's been a terrible year.
Do you like the 12-team college football playoff?
I don't dislike it. Like, I think it'd be really cool if you see, like, is it Army who's still undefeated? I know Army and Navy were both undefeated,
Boise
but one of them lost.
25
I think
right
I'm
now.
excited for Boise State.
Boise
I
State
know,
as
they're
well.
ranked like number
Yeah.
12, I think.
Yeah.
Army has a chance to sneak in. 'cause
That's what I'm
they have a game
saying.
against
Yeah.
Notre Dame coming up.
I
so
think it'd be really cool if, like, Army made the playoffs out of
Yeah.
nowhere. We'd never see it otherwise.
see that Wildcat offense against a top team in the nation.
Yeah. So you guys are fans of the 12-team.
Yeah, I'm a big college football fan. Like, I watch college football more than NFL. I don't know. I just love how it, like, it's really anybody's game.
It
on any
definitely
day.
makes the end of the season a lot more interesting for a lot more teams because I
Yeah.
feel like that was the thing for me with like college football. It's 4 teams. and
Yeah.
It's usually Georgia,
Well,
Alabama,
Yeah.
Ohio State. So if you're not one of those 4 teams,
And I always felt so biased.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even
That's-
last year with the whole Florida
State
State
thing.
getting cut out, I mean, they should have never made it in.
Mhm.
And I mean, I think Georgia proved that when they played them in the bowl game.
yeah.
But honestly, I still wanted them to put Georgia in the top 4. I feel like they still could have won,
Yeah.
especially after Bama lost. But yeah.
We did talk number 1 pick. I think this draft class is underwhelming.
Yeah.
Really?
I don't think
so
any
too.
of the quarterbacks are that good.
That's fair. I think the quarterbacks have a lot of questions. Like as like the weeks go on, you're just kind of questioning each
Mhm.
quarterback that's available.
The worst rhetoric in sports is like generational draft picks and like big draft classes. Because which quarterback do you think really comes in the NFL and makes a difference from this class?
Man, it's tough right away.
Like
but
there's no clear 1-1.
Yeah. There's no-
It's
Yeah.
gonna be Shadur probably, which
Shadur on the Raiders.
do
Shador
you really
is
think
like-
Shadur's gonna be a top quarterback in the league?
I mean, he's definitely gonna be the first one
Yeah.
chosen,
Yeah.
no matter what.
Because like even look at Cam Ward. I don't
Cam
know
Ward,
how that's
yeah.
gonna translate to the NFL or anything.
Jackson Dart, who's like got to be 24 already.
Yeah.
Yeah, same age as Trey Lance.
Yeah.
Like Quinn Ewers, every single question mark.
Yeah.
Jalen Monroe is just going
Mhm.
down every
Oh,
week.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's Gianni season. It's the Gianni draft, really.
I
Yeah.
thought Carson Beck was gonna get picked first.
You're following Carson
Yeah.
back to whatever team he goes to.
No, I'm definitely not.
You hating Carson Beck the most of any Georgia player is interesting since he's one of the few without a DUI.
That's crazy.
Whoa. That's crazy.
You know the way they zoom in on his face, I feel like he's next.
Dang.
Like he always looks like he's off something. I'm gonna be honest.
Blind
Are you guys
ranking
hiding?
time.
Blind, yeah. Moving on. We're gonna do something else. Another game. We're gonna be blind ranking top 10 NFC quarterbacks based on how much you trust them and them alone, not their team. So, just take that into account. Just the quarterbacks, not their teams. All right, we'll start it off. Everyone's favorite quarterback to slander, Brock Purdy. 10
Oh wait, so
spots.
we don't know what the 10 are. You're
Yeah,
just
you
gonna
don't know
tell.
what 10 are coming.
I'll put him at 3. Wait,
3?
2. Because it's NFC only,
Whoa.
right? NFC?
Yeah.
2.
We should have said those NFL quarterbacks, not giving the NFC
Yeah.
card. Now they know who's coming.
2? I'm a Niners fan.
That is crazy.
I've been watching Brock Purdy this year.
Yeah, okay, like this year too, yeah. 3.
It's been rough.
I'll put him at
I'll put him at 4.
I'll put him at 3 still.
All right, you guys
just
are
because
both
of like the
pretty
career
generous.
projection. Are we only going off this season? Like
Yes.
No,
how
I'm
much
gonna-
you trust them
Right
going
now.
forward
right now?
Right
Okay,
into
now.
the playoffs from right now on?
you might have put it perfectly at 4. 4 is probably it.
Okay, I'll do 4. Yeah.
4? All right, let me lock it in. All right. Moving on, Jalen Hurts.
He's doing pretty good right now. He's doing better than Purdy.
I'd say right now, but honestly, I like
That's
Purdy.
a 6 spot for me.
I like Purdy more than Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, going off this season, I'd put him above Purdy, but total, I'd put him below Purdy. Just for this season right now, 3.
3.
I'll agree.
Do you have any input? I'll let you.
I mean, I would have said
This
like
action.
6. Knowing the rest of the NFC quarterbacks, I
Okay.
don't know.
Should we even it out and put him at 5?
I think 5.
Sure, 5. Yeah, we'll go 5.
All right. I'm going to switch up. Jaden Daniels.
1.
1.
One. That's what I was thinking for 5.
A rookie quarterback with no playoff experience. I mean, he looks really good.
I say 1.
I'd still put him at
All
1.
right, I'll put him there.
He's young. He's doing.
We
he's
both
killing
said
it
1
right
at the
now.
same time.
Yeah.
You have to put
The
1.
fact that this
I was
isn't even a
saving one
blind
for him,
ranking,
yeah.
They know who's coming, and they're putting Jaden Daniels 1.
No faith.
Jared Goff.
Do we have 5 already? We have Jalen
Yeah,
Hurts
you
at
have-
5.
The only ones you've done are 1, 4, and 5.
Okay, the conversation about Purdy and the team carrying him, I think that's the Jared Goff conversation. as
Exactly.
well. 6, I'll say.
I think Jared Goff's top 3.
You think he's top 3?
Oh yeah, no.
Current
I would
version of
I would
Jared
say
Goff,
if we
yes.
didn't have Brock Purdy at 4, we would put him at 4. But yeah, I'll do
Yeah.
6.
6?
Yeah.
I'm gonna put him at 6 there too. Your opinion's invalid on this. No, I'm kidding. Jordan Love.
9.
8.
9. He was my MVP pick in the beginning of the season. That didn't look good.
I mean,
He got
considering
hurt.
what he did against us, I mean, he was just putting the ball in harm's way. That's what he's doing this year.
Jordan Love has not been good this year.
No, he hasn't.
Well, he was hurt too.
Yeah.
At 8.
8.
I'm not gonna go-
I think the
Great.
consensus is 9.
I would say
8
9.
-ish.
Yeah.
8.5. Just kidding.
I'm sticking
9.
him at 9 then. Baker Mayfield.
I think you guys really scrubbed
I
this
think we-
list.
I apologize for
Purdy
the
that
Brock
high
Purdy
was
part.
like-
Yeah. What spots are available?
We have 3
2,
and 7.
2, 3, 7, 8, 10.
I apologize for the Brock Purdy part.
You knew it was only NFC too.
Yeah,
It
it's
wasn't
true.
NFL.
I didn't think that. Oh man.
I wish-
7.
I mean,
7?
Not 8. 7.
Yeah,
I like Baker.
I
but
can't do 3. 7.
No, he's not.
yeah.
7?
7.
Alright.
Yeah.
Matthew Stafford. You got 2, 3, 8, and 10.
I would say 3.
Uh,
8 just feels wrong.
Yeah,
I
it's
would've
between-
put him at 8. It's between 2 or 3 for me.
yeah.
It's 3.
3. It has to be 3.
3.
Because I would have put him at 8. Yeah.
I'm scared of Matthew Stafford, if I'm being honest. I wanted them to lose against the Seahawks just so they'd fall in the rank. Even though it levels out the NFC West, I don't want anything to do with it. But I'll put him at 3. All right. Kirk Cousins.
2.
What?
I trust Kirk Obans.
In playoffs as well?
Everywhere.
8. I don't
8.
trust him in playoffs at all.
I don't think he's the 2 pick, but I don't think he's the 8 pick.
I would say
Also,
I would trust him
You gotta
more than
remember
Brock
the 2
Purdy.
quarterbacks you have left.
You would
Yeah.
trust him more than Brock? Brock Purdy has like 5 playoff wins already.
Right.
Well, that's
I mean,
talking
he's
about
got
the
a good
player. Hey,
roster.
we're talking about the player, not the team.
I know, but
yeah.
Are
Let's
those wins Brock
let's put
Purdy's?
Kirk Cousins on the Niners.
I mean, that was the rumor for
Yeah,
a
that
long
was
time.
the-
I never want Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, I
Kirk
didn't want him either.
Obans. Disrespect.
So we're
is
putting him at
crazy.
8. It's 2 or 8.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that because I
Hey,
don't trust him
do
in
it. Do it
playoffs.
8. Do it 8.
Yeah.
Do it 8. I like the way this lands.
All right. Sam Darnold.
Well,
Two.
because you know.
Number 2.
Yeah, 2.
2?
That's the way it lands.
So
2?
2 or 10, huh?
I'm now realizing who the last one is. So do I trust him more than the next one?
The list is going to look funky anyway.
Yeah.
The last one,
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't.
so you're saying 2?
2.
Yeah, 2.
Yeah.
As long as the pocket stays steady.
And your final pick, number 10, Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
10.
Yeah, I'd put him at 10. Even if I didn't know who. Yeah.
Yeah, him or like Jordan Love for me would have been 10.
So your list goes Daniels, Darnold, Stafford, Purdy, Hurts, Goff, Baker, Kirk, Jordan Love, Kyler Murray.
I don't think
Not
that's
a
a bad
terrible list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
I-
I'll stand by my Purdy thing because I actually trust him in playoffs. I trust him a little bit more than some other quarterbacks. So maybe I'll
He's
stand
not
by
going
it.
to lose.
I think Goff and Kirk have to be in the top 3. I don't think their quarterbacks are going to lose you the game.
Maybe.
In their current state, I don't think their quarterbacks lose you games.
I feel like they're like the Steelers. Like both of them are just like underwhelming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think Kirk's underwhelming?
I think
Well-
he's underwhelming.
Unless it's prime time.
True.
All the playoff games are
Yeah.
prime time.
He's going to air it out.
We'll see. We'll see.
And Jared Goff this year, in the last 2 years, has played himself into like an MVP candidate.
Yeah, but his team
His
is like
team
is
is wi-
spectacular.
He's been playing good balls, though. I don't know.
I don't know about that. That wraps up the blind rankings. Moving on to a different thing. It's not really a game. It's just kind of a debate. We got a list of 10-ish players, Hall of Fame or not. All right, here we go. First name is Russell Wilson. I say no.
I say no too.
I already know your opinion on this.
Yeah, I would put him in. I'd put him in the Hall of Fame. Wait, if,
No. No.
if he continues to play longer and ruins what he has going on, no. But
You think he would ruin what has going on? I think he needs to add stats.
Yeah.
I mean, the last few years, though, he
Yeah.
was ruining it with the Broncos.
But I also
Yeah,
think he
those were
changed.
bad
He was ahead of
years.
his time too. Like the way he scrambled out and everything. Like this is what we're seeing from quarterbacks. Like now, I don't know.
I'd take Kaepernick's mobility over his.
Well,
Russell
Back in the day.
Back in the day.
No,
yeah.
Russell Wilson does have like top 3 rushing yards all time, I'm pretty sure, for a quarterback. It's kind of surprising. People
Yeah.
forget.
The thing for me, though, is people want to talk about their teams carrying the quarterback. He got carried to Super Bowls. He had the best defense of the league back-to-back years. They won 1 Super Bowl. He doesn't have any top 5 MVP finishes. You know who has more top 5 MVP finishes than him? Top 2 MVP finishes? Brock Purdy. And if in 10 years are we going to say, oh, Brock Purdy got carried? Brock Purdy has top MVP finishes
That is true.
more than Russell Wilson.
I mean, he carried Jermaine Kearse. Who else? Doug Baldwin.
Hey, those weren't bums. You say.
I say
Okay,
not.
I say no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll
You're
down
wearing a
this hill.
Niners jersey, my guy. Come on.
Oh yeah, I have respect for him. He was the Niner killer, so
Yeah. That's
I don't know.
true.
Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why I see him in that light.
All right. Controversial name. Antonio Brown.
No.
No.
On commissioner's exemption.
Yeah, I think he
Yeah,
should get
that's-
it, but
He definitely has
won't.
the statistics to
Yeah.
make it. It's just I don't know what the NFL's rules are for
I think his
being
Twitter page alone.
crazy.
I'm gonna get cooked for saying Antonio Brown's not gonna make it, but Russell Wilson is. But no, just because of the controversy. That he should be, but no, just because of the controversy.
Maybe not first ballot, but I just don't know the rules in terms of like putting in people that have.
I just think he's too much.
I
of
don't
a
think there's
character.
any.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
There's no rules right now about it.
They got OJ in the hall.
But you said he was elected before everything
Yeah,
happened.
but they didn't take him out.
Didn't it take Terrell Owens a while to get into it?
It took him 2 years.
2 years.
That was
Okay.
weird though. I mean,
Yeah.
he wasn't on Antonio Brown level like
That's true though.
diva or crazy like.
I just don't think Antonio Brown can
Yeah,
go in the hall.
he retired
Yeah.
just stripping down in the middle of a Jets game. So, yeah, Julian Edelman.
No.
No.
No, I don't think so either.
As a Patriots fan, no.
Patriots fan.
I grew up a Patriots fan until Tom Brady retired. That was all I followed was Tom Brady.
That's crazy. I've heard you the Steelers, the Bills.
No, I don't.
And now
I
the
thought you were a Bills
Patriots.
fan.
I know you like the
Okay,
Vikings
okay.
at the beginning of this year.
Yeah.
I'm a Bills fan because I believe I follow players. Josh Allen's my favorite player. Like I believed in Josh Allen way before he was good.
So
Out the
Josh
draft
Allen,
class.
Hall of Fame.
I think Josh Allen can get there, yeah, one day. But
I think he's on the trajectory.
And then
Yeah,
Sam
he's on the
Darnold-
trajectory.
he's
definitely.
on the trajectory.
Yeah.
It depends what
Yeah.
happens this year.
He's got to win some big games.
Yeah.
He's got to make it to a Super Bowl.
He's gonna win big games.
Yeah.
I think he will win big games. But no, I like Tom Brady my whole life. I didn't follow football, and then Tom Brady was just my quarterback. Not when he was good, technically. It was during the Giants
When
losses.
was Tom Brady
Okay,
not
but like
good?
it was during the Giants losses that I was like really into it.
16-0, but we lost the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah, real down here.
No, I never stopped backing him, even in Tampa Bay. Knew he had one more in him.
Man. All right.
But I don't think Edelman's a Hall of Famer.
I don't think so either.
He has like no regular season legacy.
No.
But he showed up when it mattered.
Yeah.
He's got a Super Bowl MVP. He's got, what, 3
the
rings?
Hall of Fame's not just for like the
Yeah, I
Super
know,
Bowl
I know.
performance.
Yeah.
I don't think
Okay,
Edelman
brings me
has
to
it.
another one. Eli Manning.
Yes.
Yes.
I'll say it. Yes.
I think Eli Manning does have the counting stats.
Yeah.
I guess, but those 2 Super Bowl wins just, like, carry him.
Oh yeah.
They do, but
If you're saying
knocked-
Russell Wilson, then like, yes, Eli Manning should.
I didn't say Russell Wilson's the Hall of Famer.
No, him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah.
He
I'm
knocked
just
off
not
Tom
an
Brady.
Eli
He
guy.
knocked off Tom Brady twice. That doesn't do it for you.
Yeah. He had some pretty good defenses, but
Like he's
Yeah.
he's the
Yeah.
goat slayer.
yeah, that's how I see him too.
I don't think you can exclude him from the hall.
All
if it was
right.
one time, sure.
All right.
Twice.
all right. That's a harder one to argue against. I'm just using my personal bias.
Like we're
I
not
don't
putting
really
Nick
like
Foles
him.
in the Hall of Fame or
Yeah.
anything like that.
No, no.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, Eli's teammate, Odell Beckham Jr.
No.
No.
He'll go down as one of the most
I don't
popular
think
players,
so.
but he doesn't
It's
have the
very
stats.
close.
I feel like I could see it happening, but I don't know.
When's the last productive year he had?
2021
2021,
when they
yeah.
won the Super Bowl. He was on his way to winning Super Bowl MVP that year too.
That is true, yeah.
I mean, obviously, almost doesn't really count. You're trying to get into the Hall of Fame, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I definitely think these last few years have.
Yeah. He was on the right
Plateaued.
trajectory,
Yeah.
but yeah. All those injuries and everything, yeah. Just
It's close, but yeah, I don't
Yeah,
think so either.
it's. I had a bet on him for like the whole season of like last year of like over 575 yards, and he.
Didn't he like hold out the entire
I literally
year?
hit everything else. It was like a 6-man parlay. Literally, I
From
took.
the beginning of the season?
It was a whole season, yeah. I
Oh,
just took
damn.
I took the under on everybody. It was like all quarterbacks under on yards. Took the under on everybody. OBJ take the over on yards.
See, we can't talk
That's
about a
tough.
guy Hall of Fame legacy if you were betting the over on 575 yards for a season and he didn't.
Yeah,
hit.
that's
He got 535, and then he didn't play the last 2
Dang.
games. Like,
that's tough. All right, another name, former Stanford guy, Andrew Luck.
No.
I don't think so
Yeah,
either.
no.
I don't think he will, but he deserves it.
No, he doesn't.
I think he deserves it. Andrew Luck would be like one of the best quarterbacks of all time had it not been for his coaching staff and the injuries.
Well,
I don't think that's like
but you
impossible to
can't-
argue.
You can
Yeah,
say that
what-
about a
what
lot
is-
of quarterbacks.
yeah.
I don't think you can say that about a lot of quarterbacks. I don't think there's that many quarterbacks in the same conversation as Andrew Luck.
Like
Andrew
I'm
Luck
convinced.
It's not like he played like 2 years though with like a
Yeah.
bad coach. Like he played what 8 years in the league? Or
Didn't he
something?
take the most sacks in the league while he played though?
I believe he did.
Yeah, it's something like
Like
that.
he's a quarterback who was
but
left
still,
out
he
to
just
die.
doesn't have the numbers, and he.
Yeah. he
No,
just
I'm not
doesn't
saying he
have it.
will.
No.
I think he deserves it though, more than anyone else.
I mean, I'm the biggest Andrew Luck fan, but I would say no. Like,
You're an empath too. I see it.
It's hard to hate Andrew Luck. Like he just seems like a really good guy, and he was wronged.
Yeah, he's not gonna make it though. All right, moving on. Future mayor of Oakland, California, Marshawn Lynch.
No.
Marshawn Lynch.
I say yes
I
would
say yes, too.
Yeah, he was the top running back in the league for
for a long time.
Yeah, for a while.
I just know it's really hard for running backs at this point to get in. No one gets the stats anymore.
Nah,
But I mean, he
He's
still had a
getting
good impact though.
Can you make it into the hall if you're a politician?
Probably.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
If.
When?
We have all these questions. Can you make it into the hall if you're a politician? Can you make it into the hall if you're crazy?
What is the guideline, the standards to making it in? We'll have a separate episode.
I'm gonna for all the Georgia players. I'm gonna be like, can you make it into the hall if you have a DUI? Can you get your jersey retired?
No Georgia players seeing the light of the day.
Another Georgia player. We'll just keep it on the theme. Matthew Stafford.
Yes.
Yes, I think he was. Oh wait.
If he
think
wins
about
one
that.
more.
I think so. He's another guy
Yeah.
like Eli, but I don't want him to. But I think
Yeah.
he will.
But he was very good. Like even in his Lions years, like yeah, he, maybe the wins are not there to back it up or playoff wins, but he was very good.
He needs one more. One more ring.
He ain't gonna get it.
I don't think he will. I think he'll come short.
If I'm putting Russell Wilson on the list, I have to be fair and put Matthew Stafford.
Once we get to the other quarterbacks in the list, that'll be why I don't think he can.
All right, Phillip Rivers.
Yes.
No.
I think Phillip Rivers deserves a spot in the hall. I think he's the most underappreciated quarterback.
He's got too many kids to make it into the hall. That's
That is
another-
true.
No, I don't think it's.
I don't know if he will,
He didn't win enough.
but I just don't see how Matthew Stafford makes it.
He's got a Super Bowl. That's a big.
I don't think one Super Bowl does it in that era of quarterbacks.
But does Phillip Rivers have even playoff big
I
playoff
know.
wins or anything?
I can't tell you that, but I know he has
Yeah.
the stats and
think
resume
he
to
does.
get there. He has the longevity. Like, it's just, if you're going down that list, can you really have a Hall of Fame and have Tom Brady in, Drew Brees in, Eli Manning in, Peyton Manning in, and then also still have room for Stafford and Phillip Rivers? I don't think so. At that point, you're like naming fifth of the league to the Hall from an era.
No.
I
don't
just
think
think you
so.
have to have them all come up short.
Yeah, I don't think he makes it. Another Niner. One of my favorite football players ever, Frank Gore. Sadly, I don't think so.
Okay, I think he had longevity.
Yeah.
And that's why he has his stats.
But his prime, I feel like running backs' primes are just so short anyway, though.
Yeah. And I don't know if necessarily he was like
Was he ever a top?
a top.
Yeah.
Guy. Yeah. He was
That's
a
the thing.
reliable, durable guy, but I don't know if he was ever like a top guy.
Reliable and durable is all I needed to hear. No.
Dang.
That one's just, you wanted it.
Yeah, I want him to, but I'm real, and I don't think he will.
Christian McCaffrey.
Christian McCaffrey. That's a great question. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, obviously, he's still got to play a little longer, a little more, add to the resume. Wish he would have freaking won the Super Bowl last year, but I think he'll get there eventually, hopefully.
Yeah.
As long as injuries don't really, I mean, injuries were a big part of his Panthers years, some of them, so it'll be tough, but I think there's a good shot.
Yeah, I think you should see it.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm still shocked you put one of these on the list.
Who? Oh, Joe Flacco?
Yeah.
Joe Flacco Hall of Fame
Oh
or not?
my god.
Took us out.
I know.
I think he should just keep getting comeback player of the year.
Yes, I love Joe Flacco. Even though it's been long enough where I can forgive him for
Yeah.
2012. I mean, he wasn't he won Super Bowl MVP, but no, he's not a Hall of Famer.
Can a player win enough comeback player of the years to make it to the Hall?
It's another great question.
That's legacy.
I
We
don't
do
know
have
about
one
that.
name left on the list.
You bring him up. He's not.
I honestly didn't think he was, and I said it jokingly because it was just a name I thought of, but Tyrann Mathieu.
He spells Matthew too wrong to be in the Hall of Fame.
That's
Oh man,
So
he's
real.
a top safety though, but
Yeah, like it's a
Yeah.
weird one because I
Yeah.
feel like he kind of forgot about him now, but
right.
I just
He might be one that like maybe like years down the line he might get it. I
yeah,
can
not
see
first
that.
ballot.
Definitely not first ballot, but maybe years down the line he might get it. I feel like he was pretty top. He was a top guy for a lot of years. He's always been in the mix. So
when writing it out, I looked it up. So, of the safeties to win 3 All-Pros, 18 out of 19 are in the Hall. Tyrann Mathieu has 3 All-Pros, so we'll see.
I'll say it's a delayed one, but he'll make it.
Yeah, I think so too.
Good for the Honey Badger.
defense gets no love.
It doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
I don't think that was the one defensive player we had on there. I feel like the defensive players, who's gonna make it.
Yeah. for sure.
Fullbacks should be in the Hall.
Yeah.
Well, Juszczyk will get it by default.
Yeah.
If that's the case.
He's been the best tight end or
Yeah.
best fullback in the league.
I only know like one other fullback in the
Yeah,
league.
Patrick
Exactly.
Ricard is like the only other one I know.
Yeah. I think Alex Ingold.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Was it because Hard Knocks?
No, I just remember that. Peyton Hillis.
Madden cover athlete.
He was a running back though in the NFL. I found out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You saved some people's lives.
Yeah,
few
he
months
did,
ago.
right?
He did,
Yeah.
yes.
American hero, Peyton Hillis. Cleveland Browns legend.
Well, I think that's all
That's
the time
all.
we have before Aiden gives me another one of these. But thank you guys for joining us. And thank you so much for joining for season 4, episode 13 of Teed Up. Thank you to our video editor and producer, Aiden Swanepoel, and our multimedia producer, Elle Nicklin. If you want to stay up to date on the latest Long Beach State sports, check out our website, lbcurrent.com, and follow us on socials at lbcurrent. Thank you so much for listening. See you later. Big hearts. Let's go.